As the month of Ramadan approaches, one way to ensure that we take full advantage of this month of blessings, this month of transformation, is that we set goals for ourselves. This Ramadan, this is what I need to accomplish. These are the goals that I want to achieve, so I am better by the end of Ramadan than I was at the beginning of Ramadan. And first and foremost, Ramadan is the month of the Qur'an. It is in this month that the Qur'an was first revealed upon our beloved messenger, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Our beloved messenger is reported to have said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, 𝗤𝗂𝗿'Hi 𝗥𝗺. On the day of judgment, as people are gathered before Allah, one class of people are going to be called out. He says, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Sahibul Qur'an is going to be called out on the day of judgment. This is not just anyone, not a person who recites the Qur'an here and there, listens to the Qur'an here and there. This is Sahibul Qur'an. This is the person of the Qur'an, a person who has a relationship with the Qur'an, a person who recites the Qur'an throughout his life. His life is enriched, filled with him expressing his love for the Qur'an through his recitation, through his listening to the Qur'an, looking at the Qur'an, loving the Qur'an, holding it, kissing the Qur'an, having a close relationship with the Qur'an. On the day of judgment, this person who follows the Qur'an, recites the Qur'an, has a beautiful relationship with it, he's going to be called out. Iqra, recite the Qur'an. Wartaqi, and rise. وَرَتِّلْ كَمَا كُنْتَ تُرَتِّلُ فِي الدُّنْيَا. And recite the Qur'an carefully. Recite the Qur'an well, as you recited it well in your worldly life. فَإِنَّ مَنْزِلَكَ عِنْدَ آخِرِ آيَةٍ تَقْرَأُهَا. Your station in paradise is going to be according to the very last verse that you recite. This person, he lived his life and he recited the Qur'an so much that Allah on the day of judgment is going to say, recite and rise and rise and rise. Your station in paradise is going to increase with every verse that you recite. Every verse that this person is going to recite, he's going to rise above everyone in paradise. All of the stations of paradise, with every verse he's going to rise and rise and rise. In paradise, he's going to have a very high maqam. And our beloved messenger says, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, his station in paradise is going to be according to all of the recitation that he did in this life until the very last verse. That's how high he's going to rise in paradise. One of the goals that we have to set for ourselves is Ramadan is not just a month for those who memorize the Qur'an as they lead Salatul Taraweeh. It's not just for the Imam of the community. Why do we want him to get all of the reward and we don't strive to get that reward for ourselves as well? Ramadan is a month where we all want to express our relationship with the Qur'an. One goal, whether we still have to improve our fluency of reciting the Qur'an or we're already at that level, one goal we should at least eventually have is at least once complete the entire Qur'an in the month of Ramadan. A juz a day or a juz and a quarter a day, so you ensure that you finish it. Even if the month of Ramadan is 29 days, Allah in the Qur'an mentions our beloved messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam complained to Allah. He says, Ya Rabb, inna 𝗤𝗺 اتَّخَذُوا هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ مَهْجُورًا. Oh my Lord, my people have abandoned the Qur'an. As he was speaking of the kuffar of Mecca, he said he complained to Allah that my people have abandoned the Qur'an. We don't want that this complaint on the day of judgment applies to us as well. Rather, we want that on the day of judgment, we don't belong to this class of people. Rather, we belong to the class of people who will be classified as Sahibul Qur'an. May Allah Azza wa Jal bless us with this wonderful honor for the sake of His beloved Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.